Welcome in, everyone, to another episode of Good Morning NASDAQ. It is the first day of October, first day of Q4. My God, is the year going by quick. But welcome in, everybody. Again, as always, we are Clover Trading. This is Good Morning NASDAQ. We are doing a live little mini trading session this morning. Again, no real cover of gappers, although if there are gappers, we'll talk about them. But we're going to do, some trading for the first, call it, 20, 25, 30 minutes of the day. We'll go over our watch list and pre-market here. You can ask questions, comments, concerns, but as Dom always says, we don't get to the concerns. And yeah, welcome in, everyone. And Dom, Huddy, good morning. Dom's ready to camouflage with some animals in the woods.
Some sort of tree.
Yeah, some kind of pine tree, maybe some eucalyptus. But anyways, guys, good morning. How are we doing? How are we feeling?
I'm feeling good. Feeling good, Kyle. Wednesday morning, start of a new month. I love the changing of the month, especially when the month feels ho-hum to me. I know that nothing changes today. What's the market down? Um, it's down, right?
0.5% maybe.
Um, so nothing really changes on a weekly basis, but the numbers will start over. I'll do my monthly recap this week, go through the data. Was an improvement upon August, but definitely my worst 2 months of the year in terms of my performance. So we talked a lot about that in the webinar yesterday in terms of how to kind of judge yourself, how to be um, good at what's the word? I use good words and now I can't think of the words. Self-evaluation. You got to be
Contradictionary.
good at
Con-
self-evaluation.
Contradictionary.
Contradictionary, that was a new word we debuted yesterday. Um, but yeah, looking forward to the new month. The last 3 months of the year usually see an uptick in volatility. If you remember last year, we had the quantums running for multiple months. We had really good momentum in the markets. We'll see. You never quite know. It's my favorite time, fall into winter. Those are kind of the 6 month stretch I love the best. So we've survived the summer. It's not overpriced action wise, but looking up, I'll be ready and prepared to go if we do get some opportunities.
Yeah. Huddy, how about yourself?
What am I thinking about?
No,
Feeling?
don't answer that.
That's not what we're doing today. What are we doing today? We're doing watch list.
You can get started with the watch list, sure. What are we watching?
Ah, I don't think there's too much on Huddy's watch. There's a couple swing charts that I'm eyeing that I think look good, which I mean I'm sure Kyle will talk about them and he's way more uh fit to talk about them than I am. But Joby I really like. I think that looks really good, shaping up nicely there. Um, so having like half an eye on that, but I don't know, like probably I don't take a button on it today. Um, I think I'm not taking any trades today. I really don't see any day trading type of stuff out there right now. I know Kyle's got BKKT on his screen. That's a pretty nice 2 day run. Uh, and like technically, I don't like being short the day after a breakout. So pattern wise, I don't hate today. If we call this extension from 20 to 33, like pretty extended, maybe it has like a red day down to 30 or 28. I think it's possible. So I'll be half an eye on that, I think. And if I don't take that trade, I wouldn't like be upset about it.
Hmm.
That's
Nice.
it.
Right on. I feel it.
No
No,
gappers I
no,
like.
no gap and craps. Nothing today. None
I
yesterday.
see one that's like up 171% right now. It's a cheapie. I don't really like trading the cheapies as a gap and crap. I usually avoid them. How did Ben F do yesterday? Up then down. Uh, yeah, I just don't like the cheapies. So I'm sure it probably fades. I'm just not going to do anything with it.
What's the name of the ticker?
The ticker is CJET.
Oh, I think I saw this running earlier. Yeah, 44 cents. Yeah. All right. Interesting. We've got it there. All right.
Looks like a horrible chart.
Oh yeah, big time. Okay. Dom, talk to me.
Yeah, been a pretty light week. I didn't take any trades yesterday. Just kind of letting the dust settle on some of these runners from the past week. Ben F, I think was the only runner really yesterday, but Monday we had BQ, which we didn't really talk much about. It wasn't really a gapper, it was a runner, but I think it's a Chinese play. Went from 3 to like 18, and did end up having a red close yesterday. So if reversals are your cup of tea these days, which they have been quite poor, your liquidity's been real bad. It drops off like a rock, and these higher price stocks, 9, 10, $11, are usually having 20, 30, 40 cent spreads, which makes it really not comfortable to trade. I'll have it on a chart. I'll watch and see what that spread looks like, but does qualify as reversal from every metric that I got. I do like that it ran most of the day and had lots of range versus a lot of these gap and crappers that turn into reversals where even on the front side, it's just pre-market action. So BQ is one that I'm watching. DVLT is a runner from the past week or so that is kind of in that, another leg lower and it's done. And if it holds right here, it could break out in the next day or so. Um, also think there's like somewhat merit in like looking at like a first green day style on this. It's a couple days off the highs. It's not particularly far off the highs, but is in a nice trend. Yesterday was kind of a sideways down day where it was only down a couple percent, but did kind of base over $1. Um, so I kind of see that one from perspective of maybe it breaks out, maybe it kind of bounces back today, but there's not a ton of range between like 105 and 130. So I probably will wait and see if it pops back into the 120s for today or tomorrow. And then TLRY, if that's like your cup of tea as well, it's like increased volume lately, but the range still kind of sucks unless you're risking a couple pennies to make 30 or 40. Um, there's not really a lot of continuation. The overall market's down. Something like Tilray probably trades a little bit with the market, but that did break out the other day and then kind of held up yesterday. So that's there. Um, Besides that, I don't think I even have. CYCU is just a back burner where if it's up near the breakout level, I'd keep an eye on it. But that's a really weird one with lots of range between the highs and lows during this consolidation phase.
Mm-hmm.
So looking like a slow day. DVLT is probably my favorite in terms of if it's set up properly today or tomorrow. And then BQ is just something I'm watching if the spread doesn't suck and it's trying to reverse.
Fair enough. Um, yeah, my watch is kind of on the light end. My watches first started off with just mentioning some of the recent runners, so like DFLI. I'm actually gapping down today, which is nice, but made my money on it yesterday, so not really looking to trade it again today. There was also NUAI. I unfortunately missed this red day yesterday. Pretty good one, but the gap down was just a little bit too much for me. Maybe coulda, shoulda, woulda took 230s, risking 250 and then covered sub 2 would have been worth it, but didn't do that. So no watch on there for me, or nothing for me to do there with those for now. Yeah, shout out to Florian in the chat. He did bring up BKKT, which I had not seen. I did actually see it on, I guess, Friday. Not Friday, Monday. Didn't see it yesterday. So now we're here today, and yeah, we are up, call it 100% from, call it 17 at the low of yesterday, of Friday, to about 34, and even more so from 10 even last week, early last week. So extension is there. For some reason, I don't love it. I don't know if it's because it's gapping down. I don't know if it's because really there's no previous resistance other than the day high. Like it closed right at the highs, so that's always a little bit tricky where, it can make new run highs, but then still fail possibly. I should probably just triple check the news to make sure I'm not missing anything.
Have you already checked it twice?
No, 9 days ago, a crypto named the board. A month ago, reports earnings. So I can't tell you unless anyone wants to give me their take on the news in the chat. Feel free. But so I'm open to shorting this. Let's put it that way. I'm not open to shorting it right out the open. So if it does just crash and burn straight to 30, I'm not going to love it. I actually might be a little skeptical and hoping it does try to spike, whether it's over highs or just at highs, like double top at least, to where now I know it's tried and it's going to fail. I'd much rather it try and fail versus dip. I'm thinking it's going to work and then ricochet back and I take a loss, right? Maybe that's the wrong thinking. Maybe I'm going to miss the trade because of it. But I don't know, something about this chart, I don't necessarily love it. I mean, volume is okay, but it could be better, right? We could be trading 20, 30, 40, 50 million shares a day, and we're just not. And so it's There's interest. There's not a ton of interest, if that makes sense. So let's see. We got 10 seconds out the open here. But for day traders, that's pretty much it. Again, there are some swings. Like, again, Hoodie brought up Joby, but I don't think Joby goes yet. There's things like SOUN. I don't think goes yet. Things like UMAC that kind of already went, so I don't really want to chase it up here. But if it fails, it could be better for later. So we'll see. We'll see how this looks or those develop. All right, BKKT, zero volume, awkward start. Probably going to have one of those delayed opens. It's like barely any volume. That's the open. It's kind of awkward. Again, it makes me like it even less. Like the fact that it's going to have this like 10, 20-second delay, or no, more than that, like a whole minute. Again, if it drops right now, I'll just miss it. But if it does pop and then fail and then come back in, we can give it a chance. I also longed Hive yesterday for swings, and this is continuing better today, which is good. It was a rough start yesterday, but we're trucking along for now. Maybe not. We'll see. So lower.
I think Hive kind of has a similar look as Hive too.
Hut, yeah, they're both in the same sector. Yeah. Very nice. What about the other ones? What about the Irons of the world? Okay, that's trucking back up. CIFR, yep. What about Wolf? Wolf's probably just chopping around like it always does. Shocker. Nothing new there. Okay, BKKT. Let's focus back up here. Okay. And that's all my worry too. Like I look at this daily chart and like this wouldn't shock me if it just didn't have a weak red day. Going down to 30 would be the expectation. But part of me is also like, yeah, you know what? This wouldn't be crazy. Is this halted? Oh, halted pending news. Holy crap. Thank God.
That's terrifying.
Wow. That's why we, I don't know. I didn't know that was happening, but my gosh, am I glad I listened to my instinct here. Just a little sketch. Not sure why you need to halt it to announce news literally right out the open. That's what pre-market's for. Interesting. Okay. Well, let me bring up CJET here because that's actually running. It's exciting to look at.
Price on that one?
50 cents.
50. Boo.
But yeah, guys, feel free to put in questions. Let me take a look at the chat here. Someone asked about Wolf. I would imagine just by the question of Wolf question mark, you're watching it. I don't know why we would watch it. There's nothing really fancy about this one. This is not by any means the first red day. Some of you are like, well, Kyle, it's up from $2 to $30. No, it's not. They did a reverse split out of their bankruptcy kind of proceedings. So this gapping up to 18 was not a 900% gap up or whatever crazy thing it was. Previous shareholders got like less than 5% of their original equity, which is actually better than nothing. Normally, bankruptcy plays get zero. You actually get nothing left. So the fact that they kept a little bit of value for shareholders is something, but you still lost your ass. So no, this does not. Nothing here excites me in any shape or form. Again, if you didn't ask, I wouldn't even be watching. So, Dom, at what point do you just discontinue reversals? Question mark. They have been crap for a long time now.
Yeah, we talked about this yesterday in the webinar. I haven't really discontinued them. I definitely have taken far less of them unless I really like the way the chart looks. I'm definitely not doing any like early entries or like trying to find, other reasons like a red to green move or like a 2 minute high break. Like I'm not forcing the issue on them. I've also tried to minimize losses on them where if they do fit criteria and I feel like I have to take them because they have big range. If I don't like it for any reason, the spread, the liquidity, or just that it's been like 5 minutes and it's not pushing, I'm cutting them for half hour losses, quarter hour losses. So I haven't gotten to the point where I'm just like done scanning for them and ignoring them. I think a lot of patterns go through stretches where they just don't work. There's been way fewer just opportunities on them lately. I have talked with people in Clover about like those day one runners that are giant red candles, about leaving those for the birds. I'm not going to be trading those right now. It seems like the only ones that have worked in the past few months are the ones that are actually like reversal slash breakouts. I think ATCH, where they're holding up near the highs but qualify as reversals. And so I think there's still more interest there, because they haven't completely fallen off the face of the earth. THAR was another one. So just kind of tightening the criteria on which ones that I trade and then being really quick to move on if I see things I don't like.
Sweet. All right. Let's see. Are we interested at all for LAC breakout? I'm not. They announced news, pretty good news. So I mean, if I was going to trade this, it'd be for a swing. But I also just don't care to chase it up from, fives yesterday into sevens. And so far it's failing. And actually, this could be a good breakout in the future. If this fails here, double top at 750, consolidates for maybe another week, and then wants to retest 750, that could be good there. But no, I'd rather not chase this thing up when it's up, 20, 30%.
That was going to be on watch for our first green day today, and then it
Yeah, it just went.
gap to the breakout level.
I'll have asked thoughts on Wolf. You guys just like Wolf. I don't see anything fancy about this one at all. There's nothing special.
Wolfie, Wolfie, Wolfie.
Like, and I can't say this is an absolute, but like when a company exit bankruptcy, like the whole reason why we as like small cap penny stock traders are watching it vanishes, like pretty much disappears, right? We're trading a bankrupt ticker because it's got momentum, it's got speculation, it's got like it has those factors. But when you exit bankruptcy, and not only that, but you then do a split and can start anew, it's like, put it this way, companies that come back from bankruptcy probably have some legitimacy to them. I'm not saying they're here to be investable or be invested in, but like the ones that are bankrupt and go poof are the ones we want to trade. The ones that literally go to zero. Not the ones that come back. The ones that come back give you like some sense of like, oh, like they're actually here to stay. And that's not why at least here at Clover Trading, why we've traded them, right? In the first place. So something to think about, psychologically. A BKKT, this is set up for first rate or an overextended gap down. Is it just the third day of swing running? Sly, I'll have you know, an overextended gap down is a type of first red day. So BKKT, I'm thinking the wrong ticker. This is a type of first red day when it gaps down and is overextended. So I'm not necessarily sure. Let me read your question one more time. Or is it just a third day of running? I mean, that's the issue with any first red day attempt you have, is that you have to have an attempt. You don't know if it's going to be a successful first red day just yet. So yeah, if this drops to 30 and closes at 29, then yeah, it was a first red day in a form of an overextended gap down. But if it holds up and then it goes to 35 or 36 by the end of the day, then yeah, it's the third day of the run. You're never going to actually know. It's like the same thing as buying a breakout. Like you hope it's going to be a breakout, but if it fails, it's no longer a breakout.
Could be the top.
Yeah, could be buying the top. So it's the risk you take with any setup. You don't really know in the moment. Let's see. Thoughts on MFH? Why do I feel like this is going to be a very... Oh, interesting. I was going to think this is... Well, now volume is quite low. Although, why do I feel like this is a China scam? Maybe not. No. I mean, good run. It's just got no volume. Barely trading a few 100,000 a day. Technically having what looks to be like a solid first red day, but ew, that intraday volume should tell you everything you need to know. Pretty horrid. Not tradable. I guess small accounts couldn't be a part of this, but even then, guys, like even for a small account, I mean, this is pretty sketch. Even if you're shorting a couple hundred shares, like the spread here is going to be half a dollar a share, a full dollar a share. Like you can't really afford to lose hundreds of dollars on a small account because of a spread. So right idea, wrong inside factors here with volume and liquidity. Insane 2413 asks, what do you guys think? Can you be profitable with only one setup, or do you need to have at least 2 or 3 different market environments? Well, technically by having a setup that is profitable, that works, like, yeah, you only do need one. It's just whether are you okay with that one not working forever, which every setup has its highs and lows of working and not working. But when they work, you're profitable. When they don't work, you lose money, and or if they don't even show up, then you just don't trade them. So it's not that you can't be profitable one setup. You absolutely can. In fact, one setup can make you hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. It's just how diversified do you want to feel? Now, that doesn't mean just because you want to feel diversified or you want to emotionally feel safe by having more than one setup that you go off and trying to learn 10 setups at once. Like, I promise you, it's very counterintuitive. We're actually learning one setup at a time or getting really good at one setup at a time will actually lead to that sense of profitability. Because at the end of the day, we are here to make money as traders, and I would rather make money uncomfortably. Like, I would rather make money where I only make, my entire year in the first 3 months of the year and then break even the rest of it than not make money at all, right? Like, so at some point you have to kind of choose what you value and how you value it. And for me, I am here to play the ultimate goal of trading, which is to make money in any way, shape, or form that doesn't involve me blowing up or risking my entire life savings, let's call it. All right, still being risk adjusted, but if it means I have to be a little bit uncomfortable with my best setup, that I only have one of them, that I'm only able to be profitable with one, only work 20% of the year, then so be it. So hopefully I answered your question. Yes, you can be. It's just whether you're going to be okay with it. Most people aren't, right? Most people or beginning traders feel like they have to do more than what they currently do. And so they're learning 5 different setups on a 5K account, and they are, staring at 10 different places at once. And you wonder why they can't focus and narrow in and find some consistency, right? So I don't know if you guys have any more to add to that, but that's where my brain goes with that question.
Yeah, I mean, there are also patterns out there that have stood the test of time throughout many market conditions. Um, you don't need a ton of them. That's what I try to teach because I think most people don't have the skill set to trade 10 to 15 patterns. It's hard enough in small cap plan to keep your eyes focused on a couple tickers a day, let alone be scalping here, trading around a core there, big picture idea there, swing trading here. Um, be patient and the time necessary to get really good at one or two edges that you see happen frequently enough to be consistently profitable, and then grow your accounts and grow your knowledge base. And as your knowledge base grows, you see how quickly Kyle picked up swing trading. It's because he has a very good understanding of price action, big picture daily charts, the overall market. And new patterns will be dropped in your lap and make sense to you more easily because you have a good basic foundation to be able to have new patterns. But just a couple months of profitability on one pattern doesn't mean you should go and learn four or five, in my opinion. I think milk what you got while it's working, and then adjust and adapt as the market changes, because you don't know how long one edge could last, but it could last multiple years, and that could be enough for you to, like Kyle said, make hundreds of thousands or millions off of one setup. So I don't think the goal should be learn as many setups as possible. The goal is to make money.
Yep, love it. For anyone watching BYND, God, I haven't heard that ticker in a long time. $2. Wow. I think they're going bankrupt, right, or something like that. Wow, this has come a long way. No, I don't think any one of us, unless you guys are, and I didn't know it, but no, this is. I guess you can kind of call this a breakout attempt, maybe, but it's on such a big gap down. Yeah, I mean, no. I mean, I get the chart. I don't really have any urge to trade or watch it personally. It's not showing on TradingView that Wolf was a split. Huddy, I'm not sure where you found the exact split or the actual split they did, but they definitely did one for sure.
None of my charts are right either.
Yeah, it's a little bit wonky, but you guys, I would, even if we couldn't find the proof of a split, guys, I would not be so naive to think that anyone who was long this thing just caught a 1,000% gap up, guys. Like that's not how a company exiting bankruptcy works. Like again, 95% of current shareholders, not to say, all retail shareholders lost 95% of their value. So if you had 100 shares, congratulations, you have like 5 shares left. So I saw a lot of chatter of like, oh my gosh, you would have made this much money and doing that, and it's like I don't think it's that straightforward. I don't think it was. There was a little bit more of math involved and some fundamentals involved there.
I saw the split ratio on Ask Edgar.
There we go. Ask Edgar.
DVLT ended up holding $1. Looked like it might break down there. Um, Popping back into range. Just going to kind of keep an eye on 120 to 130. Today could most definitely just be another inside day, so I'm not going to rush to get involved there. Um, but again, the breakout level
Yeah.
is just not far away from how long it's been since it topped out. It's only pulled 20 or 30 cents, so keep an eye on volume and the range there.
Nice.
I love the way that one's holding up right now.
Yeah, it's a good
I
one.
don't think I'd buy it today. I don't want to buy it today. But like you said, like kind of an inside day today and then come back for 120. I'm interested.
Nice.
What's the overall market doing right now? Down.
Every stock I'm watching for a swing is just going crazy right now. So
A little choppy.
Crazy good.
yeah, things are just spiking. It's so nuts.
CJET, I might take a try at it
Do it. Do it.
on these lows here. Let's see if it took a double bottom. That'd be kind of cool. But we'll see. Nothing crazy.
I could totally see that working.
Yeah, we'll see. Dom, do you like DFLI for reversal?
Yuck.
Is it a reversal?
Yeah, I don't even know if it is or not.
It's not.
No. The days in which it actually traded decent volume was really already up in the 40s and it only went to 80. Even from the base of the run, 30 cents, it would have had to gone well over $1. Uh, no. I am watching that chart over the next week. Ideally, I kind of forget about it, and then I look in like Friday or Monday, and it's like holding above 65 cents. That would be intriguing, but no, this kind of front side move here was kind of weird, where it just kind of was up near the breakout level, then broke out, and then red day. So I'm gonna leave that alone.
Nice. While Don was talking there, I did decide to short that new low a day. I don't know how good it is. I don't love it being. It does feel like a chase, but I don't really have another lower low to go off of at the moment, unfortunately.
Look at that little candle.
We'll see. Could be the best thing ever. Could be the worst thing ever.
I think it's probably one of the higher odds plays that exists today.
I think so. All right.
So if I'm going to lose money, I think that's a great way to do it.
All right. Fair enough.
That's how I always think. I think it's a good perspective. If I'm going to lose money, what's a great way to do it? What's a way that like I'm not going to put my head through a wall because I'm an idiot at the end of the day.
Where would I feel happy about losing money today?
Like stock gapping up 170%, 40-cent stock, like no history on the chart except for ugly dilutive measures. Like, what are the odds it holds? I'd say it's better than 50-50 that it goes down.
Right.
I don't know how much better.
Yeah. We're going to find out by the end of the day. All right.
Maybe if it rebounds here and gets like closer to a risk level, I'll join you on the idea.
All right, cool. Isn't 2025 a great year for reversals? Question mark. I thought there were so many opportunities. Also, to last couple of months, BSLK, WVAW, CYCC, HUSA. Do you mean since September? As like since September, they haven't been that good.
Yeah, the front part of the year, first like 5 months, they were pretty lucrative and they were more frequent, and you'd get, kind of that, 1 out of 3 works, 1 out of 4, and they pay good enough to really sustain the strategy. The problem has been since really like July. There's only been a couple, and in the way that I trade them, like something like BSLK wouldn't have worked. Um, ATCH worked last 2 weeks ago, I think it was, phenomenally. That was like a 10-hour winner. But again, it was kind of a breakout as well. Um, when you just look at like the consistency of a setup and not needing to nail 1 in 2 months to make sure that the pattern is profitable, that gets kind of tricky. And the past few months, there's just been, the quality of the opportunity has been really low in terms of like the liquidity or what it looked like on the front side. Or the ones that do look good just like don't work. Like, something like Orbs. I forget what was Orbs ticker before Orbs?
Oh my god, it's gonna bug me because it was the one that ran 4,000%.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Damn it! It's funny how we forget things so quickly like that. I don't.
Whatever, you
remember.
look at that one, still hasn't even bounced, and it's like some of the ones that look like they should be, like where you would in the last 5 years you'd be licking your chops, like, oh my gosh, it went from $1 to 80, and now it's 80 down to 20, and it bounces $1 and then halts down, and that's just kind of what it's been like.
Yeah, something for your new guys out there, and I don't know if maybe I'm reading the room incorrectly, but just based on the questions of, thinking about what if one setup will make you profitable, do our reversals even good anymore? Like, this is trading. Setups will come and go, and you have to be okay with it. You have to adapt to it. You have to be okay with saying, hey, the first 3 months of the year was awesome. The next 3 months sucked. That kind of thing. Like, I do agree with Dom that some setups do kind of stand the test of time, but even then, like there will be at least a month or two periods where like they just either don't show up, they're just not as good. That's trading. Some setups will disappear entirely. The OTC panic dip buy hasn't been around for years, and it looks there's no signs of it coming back. But it is a setup that when it was there, I would say all three of us here were able to make multiple 6 figures from that pattern when it existed. But until then, until next time, it was nice knowing.
Well, next time, folks.
Yeah. Octo was it, Dom? AOCTO was originally Orbs. It doesn't even show the chart anymore because it just changes. But yeah, Octo, that was right. Thank you, chat. But all right, let's do like one more question, and then we'll get on out of here. Let's see. Actually, no questions. Just some nice comments. Thank you, Kyle Stefano, for the nice if you short something at the market close and cover the next market open, is that 2 days of short interest, or does that just depend on the broker? No, so depends on what day you short. If you short on a Monday night and a Tuesday night, that's 1 night of interest. If you short, well, actually, no, it could be. You have to ask your broker. It should be. Well, no, now it's T+1. So essentially, what I'm saying is, if you, what I do know for a fact is, if you short on a Thursday night and you hold it into Friday, but you cover on Friday, you will be charged 3 days of interest, because the trade doesn't clear and the trade doesn't close until a Saturday, because it's T+1. So you exited the trade Friday, it's going to close Saturday, but because it's a weekend, you have to then pay interest for Saturday, Sunday, and then it gets actually closed on Monday. So therefore, you're going to pay 3 days of interest versus 1. So that is something to consider. And that is broker wide. That is just simply due to the fact that the market is not open on the weekend, so your trade is not going to clear with its clearing firm for the borrows and the shares you shorted. Eventually, and I think this is coming at some point, T+0 will be here to where that's not going to be a thing anymore. Like, there's no clearing firm for crypto. Like, it happens immediately because it's on the blockchain. At some point, I think that's coming. I don't know when. But trades, this is the 21st century. We know when a trade is taken. We know when a trade is closed. Like, it's time to make it pretty much instant. I don't know why we're still waiting 48 plus hours for a trade to kind of clear. It's kind of silly, but we're in legacy markets that need to catch up to modern times. And so, yeah, it'll eventually happen. But for now, yes, there is a delay to get that trade cleared. And you will pay a little extra interest because of it. So. But anyways, guys, some good questions, some decent trading. Again, not too much today. BKKT is still halted. So just very glad I didn't short that. Again, didn't know news was coming, but very happy I just didn't bother with it, because it would be stressful just being short something that's going to release news at any moment. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in today. Wine Wednesday tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. So 12 hours from now, feel free to, or not 12 hours from now, what is it, like 9 hours from now? Feel free to join us for your favorite glass of beverage and bring more questions, and we'll talk markets and, anything under the sun. So any other lovely words to leave them with, Dom or Huddy, before we close it out or leave them on their way?
Huddy, quote of the day.
Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country.
Thank you, Huddy. That was a good one. What president said that? That's a president quote, right?
That's a president quote. I don't want to get it wrong, though.
I don't know. I got Roosevelt in my head, but I don't think that was it.
Oh.
It could be Roosevelt. FDR.
Yeah.
I feel like it was like World War II, or World War One.
Yeah, definitely a while back. So, but already, fantastic, everybody. We'll catch you guys later. Bye.